Hello, this is my review of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Spoiler alert for the book, by the way. If you haven't read the book, I suggest you do, and then come back and watch this video. So, A Court of Thorns and Roses follows Feyre, who is a normal human girl who, while hunting one day to get food for her family, kills a Fey warrior. And as a result of this, the Fey Warrior's Lord comes and takes her to the land of Prythian, which is the land of the Fey in this world, separated from the land of the humans by a magical wall. While there, Feyre not only has to navigate the dangers that the land poses to a human such as herself, but also a mysterious blight that has been put upon the magic that the Fey of Prythian wield. So first, I'm going to go over the things I liked about the book. I think the characters are great. The characters we get, I feel they all, serve a purpose. What we get with them is good. Feyre, I feel, is a good protagonist with skills and flaws that make sense for like what we get from her, what we know about her so far. Lucian is great. He adds some good comic relief. I just really like the type of comic relief he does. But he's not just there for that. He also has some serious moments as well. Feyre's like handmaiden Alice, I think, is really good. We don't get much from her in this book, but I do like what we get. I love the different like types of Fey and creatures we see in this book, like the Naga, the Bog, the different kinds of Fey we get. I think are all pretty good. Um, the book does a good job of making you hate the main villain, Amarantha, which is great. You should always hate a villain. You shouldn't like the villain. um, the book does a great job of making Rhysand, or as I call him, Rice Man, look like an asshole, but also hinting that there's more depth to him than just being an asshole. Um, I hate Feyre's family at first, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to, so that's good. Um, the world building in this book I really like. I like that, the humans have their, territory, which is basically most of the world, and then the Fae are separated from them by a magical wall, and they live in Prythian, and I really like that, they're split up into seven courts. Feels, very typical Fae stuff, but I really like. Now for some, like, kind of heavy spoiler stuff. I do like the plot twist of Tamlin's curse, and how the consequences of that, Tamlin's curse by Amarantha that has him in the Spring Court wearing the masks. I do like how the consequences of that are why the book happens. Him sending Andris to the human side of the wall, and then Feyre killing her. I like that a lot more than how the book originally presents it, which is just, you killed a Fae by order of the treaty. You're mine now. I like that the curse is the reason why that happens. Tamlin trying to break the curse is why that happens, rather than it just being a rule of the treaty. Um, I did like the plot twist of Tamlin's heart being stone. I thought that was pretty good, and the foreshadowing for it I thought was pretty good. And then the last thing I have under likes is I do like Feyre becoming Fae at the end. I thought that was done well, and I'm really excited to see what consequences that has for the future books. Now for the things I didn't like about this book. The first one is Tamlin is a very one note character to me. Even when he's trying to be sweet to Feyre, he still feels very broody, very one note, and just doesn't feel like a really likable character to me. And on that note, the romance between him and Feyre feels kind of forced to me. It might have been because I listened to it at work or something like that, but the romance between them just feels very forced and doesn't feel like natural to me. Another thing I didn't like was Tamlin sending Feyre away feels super unneeded. It just feels like the author needed a way for the stuff that happens under the mountain to happen. And so she accomplishes that by sending Feyre away. And on that note, everything we get with like Feyre after she gets under the mountain, after she gets sent home and comes back, feels very rushed. I think it's like the last third of this book feels kind of rushed to me. Like all of the trials happening, just everything we get under the mountain just happening in the last third of this book. it just feels super rushed, at least in my opinion. Um, Another thing I didn't like, I understand that Tamlin is the High Lord of the Spring Court. I understand that he is very powerful. However, I felt like him being able to just, use his powers to glamour Feyre's family into being rich again after he takes her. Bit of a stretch for me. I get that he's super powerful, but that feels like a big stretch for him to just be able to go, those ships that sunk, guess what? They made it, and you guys are rich again. Congratulations. That feels like a stretch. Like I said, the book does a good job of making Rhysand look like an asshole, but also, give him more depth as well, make us think that there's more depth to him. However, I did not like him drugging Feyre with the wine just to make her look like a fool in front of Tamlin and make him angry. That it just felt wrong to me. And then the last thing that I have under dislikes that like really irked me was Feyre trying to come up with a literal answer for the riddle, that Amarantha gives her. I understand she is illiterate. I understand she barely knows how to read. However, has she never heard of a riddle before? Like, everyone knows riddles do not have, like literal answers. Like, she's over here trying to come up, like, thinking, maybe it's like typhus or some kind of disease or poison. And I shit you not, I guessed it right the first time we heard the fucking riddle. I was like, is it love? I was right. Overall, I did enjoy the book. I personally don't really like the spicy scenes, so I just kind of skipped through them. But from the little bit that I heard, I'm sure that spicy readers love them. Like I said, my big things for likes were I like the characters, I like the world building. I think that's pretty good. My biggest dislikes were Tamlin being pretty one note, the last, third of the book being rushed, and the romance aspect not really, just feeling forced to me, because this ultimately is a romance book. So the romance has to hit, and it did not hit in this book. But yeah, overall, I am going to give the book a 5 out of 10. It is an average book for me, as I'm a big fantasy fan. I love it. I enjoyed myself. I did. For right now, what this book is, it just feels like a very average book to me. So yeah, that's my review. I am currently reading the next book, A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm liking that one a lot more, and I'm only a couple chapters into it. So be on the lookout for that review, and thank you for watching.